Alrighty, welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. As always, we have some breaking news. Some trade rumors surrounding the New York Football Giants are heating up with Brandin Cooks, the wide receiver for the Houston Texans. We're going to break all that down in today's show. But this is why you subscribe, guys. When rumors come out, when news come out, even if I'm not at the studio, I'm going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. Hit that big red button. Sub to Giants Now for videos every single day on the latest news and rumors. We go live on game days. We also go live every single Wednesday. So lock us in. Sub for dubs. You want to beat the Seahawks, hit that sub button. This comes, though, the trade rumors from Brandin Cooks from Jordan Schultz of The Score. He tweeted out earlier today that multiple teams are in the mix for Texans wide receiver Brandin Cooks. Rams, Vikings, Giants, and the Packers as a dark horse have reached out to Houston, sources tell The Score. So he's saying the Giants have reached out to the Houston Texans to inquire about the wide receiver Brandin Cooks. Cooks, 29 years old, has recorded 6 1,000-yard seasons with 49 touchdowns. I'm told if moved, he only wants to go to a contender. Is Jordan Schultz calling the Giants a contender? Feels damn good to be 6-1 and be called a contender. But let's focus in on Brandin Cooks, the 29-year-old receiver that the Giants have inquired about and called the Houston Texans about a potential trade prior to the November 1st trade deadline. Before I give you my thoughts, I want to ask you guys this question. What draft pick would you trade for Brandin Cooks? Like, what is Brandin Cooks' trade value? The Giants right now, following that Kadarius Toney trade coming up in the 2023 draft, have a first-round pick, second, third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a 7 and a 7. They have 9 draft picks right now. First, second, third. The third from the Chiefs. Then you have your own fourth, your own fifth. You have the Chiefs' 6, and you have 2 7th-round picks, one coming from the Baltimore Ravens. So the 6th-round pick that's owned by the Giants, that is not theirs. The 7th-round pick comes from the Ben Bredeson trade, I'm pretty sure, which happened prior to last season. So you have 9 draft picks. What round draft pick would you give up for Brandin Cooks? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section right now. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to hear from you. What draft pick would you give up for Brandin Cooks? Comment down below. I think the Giants are going to make a move for a wide receiver. We've now heard from Ralph Vacchiano that the Giants have called about Jerry Jeudy. We've now heard from Jordan Schultz that the Giants have called about Brandin Cooks. They are clearly in the market to make a move for a wide receiver. And Brandin Cooks, a guy who through 6 games this year has 28 receptions, 281 yards, 1 touchdown. But if you look at the past couple of years, I know a lot of people talk about injuries with Brandin Cooks, but in 2021, he played 16 games. In 2020, he played 15 games. In 2019, he played 14 games. In 2018, he played 16 games. In 2017, he played 16 games. In 2016, he played 12 games. Or 16 games, excuse me. He's left a couple games due to injuries, had a couple concussions. But listen to his production. Going in 2021, he had 90 receptions for 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. In 2020, he had 81 receptions for 1,150 yards and 6 touchdowns. This is a guy that is doing this with the Houston Texans. Put him in this offense with Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka, and I really think he could shift the dynamic of this team. I would probably try to give a 3rd-round pick for Brandin Cooks. I don't know if just a 3rd-round pick were to get it done. I mean, if the fact that Kadarius Toney went for a 3rd and a 6th, and I know he's younger and he's got more upside, and Brandin Cooks is 29 years old, so maybe a 3rd-round pick gets it done for Brandin Cooks. Right now for 2022, he has a base salary of $1.1 million. So if you take 1.1 divided by 17, that means he's getting $1,100,000 divided by 17. He's getting paid $64,000 per game. He's already played. We're in week 8. There's 9 more games to go. Giants would owe him about $582,000 for this year. He is due $18 million in 2023. There is a potential out in 2024, though, where the Giants could have got out with just an $8 million dead cap hit. So you're not just trading for him this year if you do trade for Brandin Cooks. He has an $18 million base salary in 2023. So that's a lot of money, no doubt about it. But look, I'm kind of in the mindset that you're 6-1 and your wide receivers have not been productive so far this year. When you look at the stats for the Giants wide receivers, Richie James leads the team in yards with 191, and Saquon Barkley's in second with 180. I think this year, going into the year, everyone talked about is Daniel Jones the guy, and that's what everyone knows. This year was about finding out if Daniel Jones was going to be the franchise quarterback for the Giants going forward. And the fact that you're 6-1 right now, and you have a potential to make a legit playoff run and win the NFC East, and you can go out and add a Brandin Cooks, or maybe a Jerry Jeudy, or maybe a Chase Claypool, or a DJ Moore, or Elijah Moore, or Kendrick Bourne. There's a lot of guys out there. Some people have mentioned T. Higgins. I don't think T. Higgins makes a lot of sense, especially with the latest Jamar Chase injury. But this year's about finding out who Daniel Jones is. Go get him a weapon. Look what happened with the Buffalo Bills when Joe Schoen was the assistant general manager there. They made a trade for Stephon Diggs for a young quarterback in Josh Allen, and now Josh Allen is who Josh Allen is. Is it because of Stephon Diggs? Not all the way, but it definitely helps. I'm not saying that Brandin Cooks is Stephon Diggs, but you're at some point going to have to get Daniel Jones some help on the outside. Kadarius Toney ain't coming back. You need some talent on the outside if you want to win games, if you want to compete against the Philadelphia Eagles in the division, if you want to be able to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving, if you want to compete against the teams like the Minnesota Vikings on the rest of your schedule. At some point, you're going to have to add some talent on the outside. I'd do a third-round pick straight up for Brandin Cooks and get him in here for the rest of the season, have him in next year. Look, you're going to have to add a wide receiver in the offseason, even if it is you make a trade for Brandin Cooks. You need to add another one. Kenny Golladay is probably going to be cut at the end of this season, so those salaries kind of even out a little bit. But you just can't roll with the wide receiver core the rest of the season of Richie James, Darius Slayton, David Sills, Marcus Johnson, and Wan'Dale Robinson. I like Wan'Dale Robinson, but he can't be your best receiver in his rookie season. Daniel Bellinger's hurt as well, so you're going to need someone else at receiver to step up. Bellinger had 16 catches so far this year, and that's the third most on the team. You're going to have to make a move. I expect the Giants to make a move for a wide receiver, whether it be Brandin Cooks, all the other names we talked about. I would be cool with Brandin Cooks. That's the reason for today's video. Jordan Schultz tweeting out that the Giants have called about Brandin Cooks with the Houston Texans. I'd give up a third-round pick. Probably nothing more than that. If I had to do a third and a sixth, the Kadarius Toney trade, I would do it. That's probably the furthest I would go. I know he's 29 years old. You get him for about 2 years, but I'd feel more comfortable just a third-round pick straight up. Brandin Cooks has 6 1,000-yard seasons in the NFL and 49 touchdowns. We talked about the games a second ago. A lot of people talk about Brandin Cooks is always hurt, but we just showed you the numbers. He's not always hurt. Joe Schoen, looking to make some big moves going into his first trade deadline as the general manager for the New York Football Giants. I like it. Got aggressive with the Kadarius Toney trade. Got essentially a third-round and a sixth-round pick for a guy that wasn't playing. Can he now use that extra assets and draft capital they have now with the Giants having 9 picks in the 2023 NFL draft? Can they go out and make a move for another wide receiver? I think they should do it. Got to get Daniel Jones some help. How are you supposed to get a true, and I don't like using the word fair in football, but a true and fair evaluation of the type of quarterback Daniel Jones is if you don't get him legit weapons on the outside? Maybe Kenny Golladay comes back after the bye week and he turns into the guy from the Detroit Lions. Are we banking on that? No, we probably shouldn't. So let's go make a move. We're 6-1. We're right in the thick of things. We still have games, 2 games against the Commanders. You still get the Texans. You still get the Lions. You still get the Seahawks. You still get the Colts. That's 6 games right there. You got to win 4 of those games so you can get to 10 wins. Go make a move, Joe. Go make a move. And I know some people are like, would you make a move if it doesn't make you a Super Bowl contender? Yeah, I freaking would. The Giants haven't won a playoff game since the Super Bowl with Eli Manning. When's the last time they won a playoff game? Getting a guy like Brandin Cooks or DJ Moore or Jerry Jeudy would help the Giants win a playoff game right now. Your pick in the first round is going to be later. All your picks in the rounds are going to be later. The Giants are going to win at least 9 games this year, maybe 10, maybe 11, maybe 12, maybe 13. You're going to be picking at the end of the rounds. Go get a guy that can help Daniel Jones succeed and make this offense better. You have a legit shot. You got a legit defense. Go make a move. I'd trade a third-round pick for Brandin Cooks. I appreciate everybody that's made New York Giants now a part of their day today. At-home video. Just wanted to get the news with you guys. Chop it up with you. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Would you do it for a third? Would you not do it for a third? Would you trade for Brandin Cooks? What pick would it be? Let me know all that good stuff. And if you made it this far in the video, let's do a real one roll call. Because look, it's Saturday, video number 2 of the day. If you watch till the end, that makes you a real one. So if you made it this far in the video, comment real one down below. And we'll see you tomorrow with a watch party on the channel for Giants Seahawks. Comment real one, and if you actually are a real one, we'll see you tomorrow.